So far, I showed you how to find the inverse of a 2 by 2 matrix by the method of adjoining or augmented matrix. Now let us move on to a 3 by 3 matrix. Here we give you a 3 by 3 matrix, and our goal is to find the inverse of this matrix. In the very first step, you're going to form the adjoining or augmented matrix along with identity matrix. So this guy is your identity matrix, and you're writing all the entries of the first matrix or original matrix here. Now, your goal, your job is to convert this matrix into identity matrix. How to do that? You're going to apply elementary row operations. This guy is equal to 1, the pivot is 1. Everything below 1 must be equal to 0, which is not. So we have to apply elementary row operations like multiplying the first row by 3 and adding that to the second row, multiplying the first row by -2 and add it to the third row. Take a look at the algebra. Multiplying the first row by 3 gives you 3, -6, 3, 3, 0, 0. Add that to the second row. It creates a new second row for you. Then you can multiply the first row by -2 and add it to the last row, which gives you this new matrix. So you're going to copy down the first row, and these two are your new second and third row. Check the matrix. You have a 1 in the identity matrix. You must have 1, and everything below 1 must be 0. Then the pivot or the entry on the second row is 1, and everything above and below 1 must be 0. To do that, you can multiply the second row by 2 and add it to the first row, multiply the second row by -1 and add it to the third row. So negative times the second row plus the third row makes this guy equal to 0. So your new third row is 0, 0, 1, -5, -1, and 1. So we're just highlighting these, the pivot here, the pivot here, and the pivot here. You might say, hey, I want to multiply this guy by 2 and add it to the first row, absolutely fine. Or I want to move to this row, the third row, multiply that by 3 and add it to the second row, multiply that by -1 and add it to the first row. The order is not important at all. So here, we multiply the third row by 3 and add it to the second row. We multiply the third row by -1 and add it to the first row. It gives us this new matrix. Now, 2 times the second row plus the first row makes the original matrix into this identity matrix. So take a look what happened. We took the original matrix and we converted that into identity matrix down here. We also have some observations. Our identity matrix at the beginning of the process now becomes a new matrix. This new matrix is nothing but the inverse of the original matrix.